should be an area as big as that unexplored. This is tremendous. So there's a little adventure left down at the bottom of the well.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
And Admiral, would you say that this tube is...
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished, and the rights of one man are threatened.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has...
Yeah.
Second Thursday.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought.
But
It's
yeah,
my first time on here. I didn't want to argue with you.
no.
It should be an area as big as that unexplored.
This is tremendous.
So there's a little adventure left down at the bottom of the well.
Admiral, do you hope to see that?
I do.
And Admiral, would you say that this tube is...
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished, and the rights of one man are threatened.
Listen, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has...
Now we're good.
Joanne, might mess up the screen. I don't know. It might mess up the Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Leo from To The Point Podcast with Mike, Leo, and Vince. Welcome back to the Conspiracy Club 101 here, straight from Filthy's in Indian River County, Florida.
I love how you open the show, Leo. You're so good at it. We got a great crowd tonight.
Thursday,
October 9th. Yeah. What a great crowd. Look at this. So good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look at we got a whole bunch of new faces in the house. Great.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Right.
My phone is all over the place. There's like 5 different apps open. So
We'll just keep playing it so they can hear it.
if you're watching at home, make sure you give a like and a thumbs up. If you can hear us, make sure you can let us know. We opened up this way because it's we haven't done an episode in probably a month. Probably, I don't know. Usually we don't like to skip more than one episode. But we wanted to reach out to all of our people out there and say thank you for watching. Right now we're live on Rumble, X, Facebook, and YouTube on both our accounts. Right, John?
Oh, yeah.
TGI Now,
Oh yeah.
To The Point, but especially on Rumble's the Conspiracy Club. Make sure you give that one a follow. Like Rumble's free, so
Yeah.
What do you got? What are you guys going to be talking about tonight, John?
So I got a few different things. We got Steve's back again with his brother, and they want to talk about Sasquatch and Bigfoot. So we're going to get into little Bigfoot conspiracies and where if they're real. I know Vince, you go out into River Ranch, so you've seen Bigfoots out there. River Ranch.
I do see a lot of fake ones. They'll fool you every now and then. You go, oh shit, what was that?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, but a lot of people think that they go in and out dimensions, so it's a dimensional shift. If they're there, you just can't see them all the time until they kind of show themselves. So
I have seen some questionable footprints out there. It makes you wonder.
I believe it. That's awesome. So we're gonna get into that. We got a couple of Mandela effect. What's the matter?
I think we're in the Mandela effect. They can hear us in 5 different spots, but hopefully everybody can hear us out.
I think everybody can hear us. Nobody's complaining. So it's our first run with the Bluetooth speakers. So I want to make sure everybody can hear us when they're having their pizza here at Filthy's. Thanks for having us here at Filthy's and letting us be here. Nick Novak. Hopefully Nick will be here later on. I mean, so far so good.
Yeah, their food's surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Why is it surprisingly, Vince?
You just don't think a bar food usually being that good.
That's right.
That's some damn good pizza.
Our food's the best.
It is. Yeah, it's really good food. We got Courtney behind the bar. She might join us later on. And then we'll probably bring on, we got a couple other topics. My brother wants to talk about Richard Nixon and Jackie Gleason, what they found down in the Everglades. We showed them about the aliens down there. So yeah, that's a deep one there. And then I got Bruce has, I got to say, I put my glasses on. Oh, the moon hoax. The moon hoax.
Is it Hollow Moon hoax?
Yeah. What is it, Bruce?
We'll find out from Bruce,
Is right there. Yeah. He did believe. Okay. All right. All right.
Yeah.
I want to get that in. All right.
Bruce, because
all right.
I like that topic. I'm not buying it. Why haven't we been back?
Oh,
Well, maybe now's a good time.
Why haven't we been back?
The mystery of the Columbia River. Go cut through the Grand Canyon. I like that. All right.
That's pretty cool.
All right. All right. And then we got CJ here. We got CJ here from the Spark Free Press. He doesn't know what he wants to talk about. He started bringing up something about the Civil War, and I was like, no, we're not talking negative stuff. We're talking positive stuff, like positive, questionable theories, not like we want to have that happen in here. So, but I don't know what he's going to bring. Then we're going to bring Courtney on as well. She's going to be in the shows. So we'll go from there. So
all right, who's up first? And I will jump out of the way and let him.
So we're going to bring Steve. Steve's up first. So Steve, you want to come over?
Steve?
Yep. I'm gonna grab it.
Steve, welcome on.
Hey, fellas.
Thanks for coming again to the Conspiracy Club 101 here.
There he is. What's
My
up, bro?
favorite time of the month.
You're a veteran now. You're usually first up and ready to go, and we appreciate you. You're one of the founding members of the Conspiracy Club 101.
We should see if we can make some coins or something that says Conspiracy Club 101, and
I got some merch coming. I got some conspiracy stickers coming.
John's into buying silver. I was just looking on one of the websites. You can have all kinds of custom coins made.
Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. I may do TGI Now up to the point one. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Welcome again. So what do you got? What do you got for us this month?
Sasquatch stories.
Nice. Yes.
Now, most people think Sasquatch goes back to 1967, the Patterson Gimlin film.
Okay.
It goes way further back than that. Totem poles, cave drawings.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
Okay.
You know, it's the turd that won't flush. Sasquatch, yeah.
That's good.
So that gives it some credibility to me.
Okay. All right.
Personally, in the 1980, I was walking through the woods, and I was a kid then, 10, 11 years old, and I had a feeling come over me.
Yeah.
Petrified. And I kept walking, and I came upon the woods, okay, the edge of the Pine Barrens in south central New Jersey.
Okay.
And I heard a child crying, okay. And I walked and I peeked into this canopy. It was dark and big boulders. And I yelled out, are you okay? Is everything okay? Nothing. And nothing came back. And I followed my judgment. I got out of there. And I found myself to be completely lost at that point. completely lost, just a few hundred yards into the woods.
Yeah.
I felt like I was on a different planet. And I heard knocking, tree knocking. And didn't think anything of it. Back then, I didn't know what. Thought it was, who knows what.
Yeah.
Didn't put anything together. And then a big rock flew right in front of me. I mean, a big rock.
Yeah.
Big sandstone. So that was my first personal encounter.
Yeah.
Then years later in the Everglades, Florida, I saw an enormous footprint in the sand.
Yeah.
And that was my second.
Okay. All right.
So those are my two personal experiences. But just the fact that stories won't go away. And the fact that the news came out on Patterson's death and said that he said, "Oh, it was a hoax."
Yeah.
That never happened.
Yeah.
The fact that the news lied about it gives it even more credibility.
Yeah. That makes sense. Now, let me ask you this. Now, you had this encounter. Did you think was it there near you? Do you think it was a dimensional shift where they come into our reality and then they go back out because you don't see them?
No, I think that they're in this reality.
Yeah.
I think that they have just ways, to disappear. Crouch down, turn into, look like a rock or whatever.
Yeah.
They live out there.
Yeah.
Where do you think they live at? Like, where do you
Everywhere.
think? So it's not just one.
No.
It's not just one. See, because see, I normally go to vacation. Whenever I go to vacation, and so does Vince, and a couple of us go to vacation. I normally go to Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Georgia.
And there's a lot of sites and a lot of mountains
I've been out there.
and a lot of museums saying
That wasn't no bear.
It was
right?
this, it was
That's what you hear.
yeah,
Wasn't
that
no
was
bear.
no bear.
Right.
And it always made me think. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like, I really want to get into it. Like, what is it? What is it? And you know how you were saying, I wonder if they go like into what's called like hibernation or something like that.
Right.
They
Stay
by the mountains for the
Stay
most
by the
part,
mountains.
right? And of course in Florida they don't, but there's a big center of the state.
Okay, when you say that in Florida they don't, what do you mean they don't travel to Florida?
There's no mountains in Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you go out to Fellsmere, there's this little park.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and it has this little pavilion and it has this little, historical stuff about it. And it says that Bigfoot
Skunk it, right?
was spotted or seen
Yeah.
out in
I didn't know
Right,
that.
right
I didn't know
here.
that.
Yeah, right here in Rivertown, Florida.
There's a map, a world map you can look at, like everywhere that there's been reported
I didn't know
Bigfoot
that.
sighting.
They're
Yeah,
everywhere on the planet.
we were looking at that one day. Fellsmere is on that map.
Okay.
So when you say that, it's like they stay close to mountains. So whenever they say about Florida, oh look, wait a minute.
For the most
Yeah.
part,
Right.
if they can, but no, there's certainly in Center Florida, everywhere, Indian River County,
Yeah. Well, like Leo said, when I vacation in North Georgia, North Carolina area, and you just see so much of it there.
the Appalachian,
It's just
the Appalachian Trail.
so many
Up there they call
people
the
talk about it. You go to a restaurant and there's like a gigantic Sasquatch,
Right.
and if you ask people working there, they'll have some story about it. It's crazy. It's like completely different when you go there when it comes to Sasquatch. Like they take it very seriously.
I was working up there, construction work, and I spoke to a man that was in having a beer after work, and I asked him. I said, "You ever hear or see Sasquatch? I'm very interested. I'm not from here." And he got all kind of defensive, and then later on, he came to me and said, "When I was walking the Appalach a couple of years ago,
wow,
something followed me."
Yeah.
And he said, "I've never been so afraid in my life." So,
Wow.
and this guy wasn't selling books.
Interesting.
He wasn't trying to impress me. He was
Yeah.
telling me a story.
Right.
This is what happened.
Yeah. Huh. That's wild. I didn't realize that about Fellsmere in this area.
Yeah.
Well, they found all kinds of stuff in Vero, like the Vero man. They had found the bones of some creatures,
Really?
and some people. Yeah, Vero's got some weird juju to it.
Vero's got a ton of UFO sightings.
Yeah, that's true too.
One of
Yeah,
the most on the planet.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
So no
Yeah.
wonder it's called the treasure.
Right.
Because we have all these hidden treasures.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's
don't
not just treasure from out from the Spanish ships and stuff like that. You know, there's all this.
It's beautiful.
Very nice. I always say it's a.
You
it's
say
a-
that all the time on our show.
Yeah.
We live where you vacation.
Yeah, we live where everybody else vacations.
That's
Everybody
true.
wants to come here. Even
That's
the,
true, yeah.
Even the rich people want to come here and hide from the world. So what does that tell you about
Right.
Indian River County, the Treasure Coast?
Oh, that's
People want to
funny.
come hide here.
Yep.
Why do
Yeah.
they want to come hibernate here? Why do you want to come hide from
Right.
the rest of the world?
Yeah.
What do we have to offer here in Indian River County that no one
funny.
else does?
Yeah.
We have crocodiles in the river now. Isn't that great?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yep.
It is crazy.
That
I
is
love
crazy.
it, man. I love where we live, Indian River County, Florida. For sure, we're gonna put a star on it.
So Vince, what do you see out there at the River Ranch? Anything?
It definitely, when you get out there, like you see a lot of the so this, for people that don't know, River Ranch, a lot of it's like off the grid. People use solar. There's no plumbing. You're not allowed to build a real house with like a concrete foundation. So you get out there and you start seeing all kinds of Sasquatch signs, like realistic size ones.
Yeah.
People will place them out in the woods, and I'll be driving around on the side by side, and sometimes I stop and like
Oh my God.
back up and like double check and be like, I think it's just a sign.
Wow.
And but you see people doing stuff like that, and you just there's got to be a reason.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
But it's pretty cool. Like you see a lot more of that where you do go out in remote areas where there's less not the city kind of place.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not the place for it. But
That's crazy.
I've been a few times out there with Vince, and what I've always found is surprising out there is the military has a base.
yeah, it's right next to where River Ranch is.
Literally, they have a base out there.
Air Force. They do bombing. I've
And
been
Air
there when
Force
they've
base out
dropped
there.
bombs.
Really, I didn't know that either.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I've been out there when
So
they're doing it.
it makes you
Wow.
wonder, why are they training in these conditions
Yeah.
here in Florida, that they need to train in these conditions that in other parts of the world
Right.
are the same conditions that we are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes you
That's
wonder.
interesting. I didn't realize that. I mean,
And there's another one. What's the name of the national park, Mike? We went riding that one time. Ocala. Then there's a base right there. We pulled right up to where the base is at, and
Okay.
it's side by side.
all right.
Yeah, I mean, so another one right out there's
Like Area 51.
several of them here in
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah, we have one in Space Force too. I mean, there's Air Force Base up in Cape Canaveral, which is
Right.
Space Force Base. So God knows what's going on up there. So, that's where you start to see all those different things out in the ocean, different lights, things of that nature. There's a lot of the aliens, and we can get into that too, with the conspiracies of Area 51.
Right.
That ships can go in the ocean. I've been out there, Area 51. I've seen all kinds of stuff out there. Yeah, I mean, but a lot of it's it's reverse engineered technology that they're testing when we're out there. So there's a lot of it you think like, oh, that's a spaceship, or what is that, or that a flying UFO, but it's our technology that we've reverse engineered, and they test them at night. But there's also other stuff that's going on in that base too. So there could be some Bigfoots there too.
It's all tied into the UFO community,
Yeah.
the Bigfoot community. They're hand in hand.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Are they connected? Maybe. I don't know.
maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a good part. It's a good point.
But the fact is, the Native Americans talked about both.
Yeah.
Talked about Sasquatch and the flying ships.
That's true. They did. Yeah.
Sky snakes, whatever
Yeah.
they call them.
Scott. Yeah. No, that's right. That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, Steve. We appreciate that. That was a great topic.
Yeah, I'm happy to come out.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I'm gonna get into some other stuff. I got my brother here. He wants to talk about the Mandela
You
effect.
can stay there, Steve. I'll let him come in here.
Right here. All right. Yeah. Rich,
Rich,
come on over.
thank you guys again
over
for
here.
having us here at
Yeah.
Filthy's. Big shout out to Filthy's. Don't forget to stop by.
Filthy's.
Have some drinks.
The hottest waitresses in the
For
cold.
sure. What was her name? Big shout out to her. What was her name?
Courtney.
Courtney. Big shout out
And
to
don't
Courtney.
forget,
She's got the best drinks out there in town.
and Courtney it's Courtney's karaoke at
Tonight.
9:00 as well tonight. So just to give a little shout out for that one too, because we gotta promote Filthy's. We got to do that. So we're going to bring my brother Rich in on the next topic, because Steve, it gets into Bigfoot a little bit, and then Rich has also some Bigfoot stories and some other things, and then and then we'll maybe tail into the Mandela effect.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So. All right, let's speed it up there, Rich. We're live here. We got live studio audience here. We got people listening. We got any comments in the house? Trolls in the comments. Yeah, just throw those comments out there. Let me know. All right, Troll. We appreciate you tuning in. Share the show there, Troll, too. Make sure the volume's good. Make sure the conspiracies are even better. What else we got?
Says, wish I could be in the house with you guys.
Oh, that's Ishliz tuning in. Ish, nice. My man, the Ish man. He's the man right here. He's a bartender here at Filthy's. He does a great job. One of the best bartenders in town. We appreciate him being here when he's here, but now he's not here. But throw some topics out there, Ish, if you want, and share the show, brother. All right, so we got my brother on here. We were doing Bigfoot, Rich. Yeah. So can you get a little closer? Yeah, sit up. There you go. Go ahead. Speak. All right. There you go. Now I can hear you. All right. Yeah. So we were talking about Bigfoot. We want to also get into the Mandela effect. So have you had some Mandela effects lately with this timeline shift?
Not recently.
Yeah.
I mean,
What's the biggest ones you've been looking at lately?
the fruit of the loom, the cornucopia.
The fruit of the loom, the cornucopia on the fruit of the loom underwear.
It was there.
You guys know about that?
I don't know. No, what is that?
So now they're saying it was never there. They changed the
say it
logo.
was
They
never
didn't
there.
change the logo. They just said it was never
I mean, I
there.
can tell you, I remember it.
Oh, I remember. They
Yeah.
they made it change it and then said, oh, they're fucking with it and said it was never there. But they say it was never there, and it was there. I mean, there's proof of it too. There's people got old
Right,
shirts. They've got it. I mean, I remember it.
The grapes, banana.
Yeah,
And then the cornucopia.
The cornucopia ain't there anymore.
I call it the Horn of Plenty, because
Okay.
it reminded me of
Yes.
Thanksgiving and the Horn of Plenty. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, why is that on the logo for their underwear?
How much easier do you think it's to do shit like that now with AI today to just like remove this stuff from?
Well, it could be exactly.
I mean, who knows? They could be going on your phone, John, and removing it if they know it's on there.
Yeah, they could do whatever they want. We know that.
This goes back like a good 10 years. We'll say it's been gone,
Yeah.
and they said it was never there, and people started just noticing it that it was gone, but they don't say nothing. The company, they just say it was never there, but it was there.
Yeah.
It was there.
Yeah.
And then they got the Jiffy peanut butter because it used to be called Jiffy, and now it's just Jif.
Jif. And I remember Jiffy when
Exactly.
I was a kid.
There you
Some
go.
people say though it's Jiffy Pop. You're confusing Jiffy
No.
Pop with
Well,
Jiffy. I know.
that-
There's debunkers like Ish.
That's like,
come on here.
That's like, what was
I
it?
don't think Ish is going to debunk that.
Which
No, he
one's
was debunking.
which one's the one where the monocle is all of a sudden gone?
That's the Monopoly.
The Monopoly guy.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yep.
I come on, I know for a fact. I grew up playing Monopoly. That he had a fucking monocle.
We
I'm
talked
sorry.
about
I
this
know.
last night on the
There's-
TGI Now
There's
show.
just like
Yeah.
no way. There's no way in the world you can convince me he didn't, because
Right.
I know for a fact. He
I
did.
know.
And yeah, I do too. But there's things out there on the internet will say, well, it was just you're a figment of your imagination.
Yeah.
And stuff like
Yeah.
that. We'll do that, and then
Yeah.
it gets all confusing. With
Yeah.
Luke, I'm your father, and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
Even though I think he never did say Luke. He just when he said no. He just said no and it tailed off. It did sound like Luke. But then there's people who die, but then they're not dead. Like Mr. Bean. I know that guy died, but he's alive still. Rowan Atkinson. And then you have the baseball player Jack Clark, which I quite sure he died of cancer like 10 years ago. But I just checked it up, though, and I looked, and he's still alive.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It just sometimes you're just like, did I miss something? Or
Right.
or was he really dead and then it just disappeared? If this Mandela effect is accurate, that pissed me off when I swear I know he was dead, and I say, I'm going to look up though, just let me see how he died for sure, and then he's fine, he's 69, he's whatever, living here, and he was coaching minor league baseball. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just like,
See, he knows he has a mind like a fucking steel trap. So he remembers people that died and everything, and then he's like, I could have sworn he died.
Chris Christopherson died 3 times at least since 2011. At least 3 times that died. Finally, he is dead. I swear,
Are you
Chris.
sure? You sure?
I'll check. You can look. I think this time he's done.
How did it get the Mandela name? How did the Mandela effect?
Because people thought Nelson Mandela died
Okay.
back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I never heard that though. I didn't believe. Because then he finally died in 2013. He was released in 1990 from jail after being in jail for 20 some years.
Uh-huh.
But he didn't die in that. I knew that though. But some people were like, "Well, I thought he died," and that's where it gets all. Because I know he didn't die until he really did. But they use that name as this new category. This subject is the Mandela effect. And I mean, I can't ignore all of it. There's a lot of people I've known I'm pretty sure that are dead, and they're not anymore. You know, there's some low name actors that I know. Like, I swear Paul Doodley died. You know, that's a guy who played Wimpy from Popeye.
Okay.
You know, and he was in a lot of movies, but he's alive.
Well,
I thought John, what's his name? John Ashton died some years ago from the Addams Family. Gomez, but he's the only one left that's still alive. He's like 94 or 5 years old now. But I'm like, is that me too? But there's something like to where it's just
there's a parallel universe, a parallel timeline that we shifted into. We talked about it on our TGI Now podcast last night. There's a parallel universe that's riding alongside of us, and so it's not that the things are changing. It's not that the Jiffy is changing to Jiff. It's that we're changing. Our consciousness is changing. So it's like we remember it one way, but then we're like, well, then why is it this way then? Like, did they change it? Like, it's more or less what we see because we project our reality through our lens, and so we change.
And like you were saying, they'll say, no, you're just confused. You're combining two different products. You're just
that's how they try to debunk you.
Right.
Exactly.
They'll bring up another product, or like with the monocle on the Monopoly guy, they'll say, oh no, that's you're thinking of Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
There you
and
go.
I'm like, no, I know the Monopoly guy had a monocle.
They do that to try to say, no, there's none of that. You're a bunch of nuts. It was Mr. Peanut.
Right.
He has the monocle.
Yeah.
But the other guy didn't. Yeah, Mr. Money. The real guy, the guy at Monopoly, his name is Mr. Moneybags or something.
Right. Mr. Moneybags.
I forget the first name. I'll try to remember. Okay. Not that it's important, but
but he had it too. I mean, that's what's so weird. Like, I remember that too. You know.
And it's funny, like. So that you question why take away something like a monocle, or why change a name? What do they gain from doing that to you?
Yeah.
Is it just psychological? They just want to see people's reaction. It's a social experiment.
It could be because the timeline changes through CERN and the Hydro Collider. They collide the particles
like
together.
COVID, a big part of it was a social experiment
Exactly.
to see what they could do. How much you could take before you finally said no.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's a wear on you.
Exactly.
That's why sometimes I get frustrated with it. Mandela effect.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Because the bunkers, but then you have, like, the cornucopia was there.
That's
you
right.
know, at least be honest and say, well, we got rid of that cornucopia years ago. But there was a commercial with the guys all dressed up like fruit, and the biggest guy had the cornucopia.
Right.
Or the fat guy was the apple.
Yeah.
But the cornucopia was on the tag. There's no doubt on the
there's no doubt. But that's again, like it's our memory that triggers it. So it's like, did we remember it wrong, or did we change the reality? It's really what it comes down to. There's no other explanation for it.
Yeah,
it's there.
It's got to be a social experiment.
Yeah, it's something. It's psychological somehow.
Yeah. It could be. I mean, the deaths would get me if someone was, really dead. But then, like this timeline thing almost makes it that they never did. That's the one that gets me the most. Forget about the tag on the cornucopia or Luke or your father. The one that gets me is someone who's dead, that they said he was dead, and then they're not, like Jack Clark. I can go on a few others that I was like, that guy died. I'm telling you. I'm like, unless you're lying to us, or they'll be like, oh, you confused it with someone else. And that gets to me the most is someone who was supposed to die was dead, like a celebrity.
Yeah.
It's usually a celebrity of some sort. No one we know, but I was like, and after a while, my mind gets too racked with the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Just the name alone gets me weirded out because I know Mandela did not die in the 90s. But some people seem to thought he did.
I know.
I did.
Yeah, that's where I was.
He was just released from prison finally. They made a big deal. He's, he fights for the Black Power of South Africa, and he's a great guy.
So Bruce, what do you think about this Mandela effect? You're jumping in here now. You've been listening. We appreciate you being here again. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. My thoughts about Mandela effect is that I always thought that Mandela was released, but he didn't die till 2012.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
But the thing about the cornucopia, I remember seeing that. I also remember seeing in the James Bond movie where the girl did have braces.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that the other day. Yeah.
But they show it now. She
doesn't have braces.
Moonraker. But when I saw that movie, she had the braces.
Oh yeah.
So I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's going to be his mate.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was my thought.
She's got steel in her teeth like him.
Yeah.
I know. And then why is that? Did they AI it out just to fuck with you, or was it just a change?
Probably.
Yes. Or Was it really this Mandela effect at its purest?
Now, as for Jack Home Run Clark, I remember hearing that he died. And I thought it was very odd because he was kind of young.
Yeah, he was like in his 50s when he would have died.
Like
49 or 50.
See, yeah.
And now he's look it up.
Wow.
Now he's gray haired. He's 69, and I'm like, Jesus, excuse my language, but like I'm glad you remembered that.
Yeah.
I was racking my brain.
He came in as soon as he walked in the door. He's like, "Hey, John, I thought something was bad happening." He's like, "John," he's like, "Do you remember Jack Clark? He died, right?" And he was like freaking out, like almost. He was like, "You remember he died?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember you saying that he passed away."
I thought maybe you would remember it just too by looking.
I remember. No, I remember it too.
A couple months ago, I did this. I was like, I point out baseball players that are dead now. I'm like, Jack Clark's dead. But then I was like, look it up. Just look it up.
Yeah.
I Google it. The guy's alive. And I was mad. I was like, I couldn't sleep that night.
And Bruce seems the same thing. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you for Yeah,
that's why we do the conspiracy
he supposedly died of cancer.
That's why we do it.
He was a good player. He wasn't in the Hall of Fame, but he was. I remember the Giants and the Cardinals.
Yeah, I always liked Jack Clark. Yeah, no, he was. I was watching.
Good right-handed batter.
Yeah, Yeah, that's crazy. But, I'm glad you were here to participate. That's why we do the show. That's because we have questions, we want answers. Right?
Chris Christopherson, gee whiz, how many times are you going to die?
Chris Christopherson. Yeah, see, I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one either.
Yeah.
He died at least 3 times that I know of.
That's crazy.
Then I'm like, he's still alive, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
That's almost unexplainable at times.
Yeah.
But there's more people I know that I was pretty sure they died.
All right. Well, let's we'll slide into the next topic. So we covered Bigfoot, Sasquatch. We hit the Mandela effect already. So we're giving you a good, conspiracy theory 101.
Let's see if
these are a little funner.
Oh yeah, sure. See if anybody. So Bruce, you wanted to do anti-moon hoax, right? Is that what that says?
Correct.
And then what's the other one?
The mystery of the Colorado River.
The mystery of the Colorado River. There you go. Anti-moon hoax. So Richie's good on the moon thing. So this will be a good debate here. So give us you start it up, and then we'll roll into the conversation.
Okay. My viewpoint is that we did go to the moon, at least 3 or 4 missions. I don't think it was a hoax. I think we really did it. Why we have not gone back since then is a different topic.
Yeah.
But I think that the United States did send people to the moon.
Okay. All right. We're doing the moon anti-moon.
Well, sometimes I believe that the footage they showed us was fake. They went, but they showed us something else and didn't want to show you the real moon footage.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Like there was aliens or God knows what that they didn't want you to see, and they were like, we can't show this to the public. We're going to just do this, mock-up, kind of what it was like, but we're not going to tell you what they saw, and it would freak the people out.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's why I've gone there before, and then there's times I've gone that maybe it was hoaxed, but maybe it was hoaxed to cover up. Some say the Nazis went back in the 40s, and they didn't say much about it. I don't know about that, but they said they got there first. That the Nazis, they got they got a stolen craft in the crash.
To the moon?
Yeah, there's no proof, but they launched out of Antarctica. And they found a crashed vehicle. They enhanced
How'd
it.
they get to the firmament?
Well, that's the thing. There's others I could believe you too that you can't get past it. The Van Allen belt, but then again, they might have had alien technology by a crashed vehicle, and then that would help them get past that Van Allen belt. If they're getting here somehow, they know how to get by it. Because they used supposedly they used some foil type substance that helped them get past the Van Allen belt, which I could believe, but it was probably from a crash.
You ever see the moon lander? It's made out of tinfoil.
Well, it does look kind of weird, and I always wonder how they got the rover up there. They said they attached the rover. They attached it to the back.
How'd they call Nixon on a phone in his office?
I know. But not only that, but that was
pretty good.
I know, and then the camera seems to move, like someone's behind it. But I can't.
The camera moving is one thing. It's the president from the moon.
I know. I know. There's a lot of questions. That could have been fake, and the real one was always suppressed if that happened. But I can't say either which way or what. If I was really adamant, I'd be like, it's fake. But they could have went and faked the rest of it and not shown you. But maybe you're right.
You have no stance on the.
I can't. There's times I just get. it can go both ways.
What makes you go the other way? Like, what makes you think they actually went in the first place? Like, because if the other guys went and they're lying about that, like that means it's possible that you can go. Like, you think it's? I mean, a lot of people think the moon is like rock and sand and whatnot.
I know there's people think the moon is just a reflection,
and it illuminates from the sun shining off it. You ever shine a sun on a rock or sand? It doesn't glow. It's not illuminated.
There's a lot of proof of that too. It's almost like the Mandela effect. After a while, you get bombarded with both sides of
That's why they give you both sides, buddy.
Yes,
they have to give you both sides. You understand? That's what they do. They have to give you only any other reason in the world not to take it. We just decided you didn't. You're not taking a stance. Right, and you're a stance-taking guy. I've met you. We've spoken. You take stances.
There's times I was very adamant that it was fake because that rover. Like, how did they get that up there?
We're not proving if it's fake or not fake. We're saying that people don't take a stance on it.
Yeah.
Right. Because you've heard both sides so much. Now, if you were a person or an entity or a group of people that did not want people to take a stance. Wouldn't it be ideal to bombard them with two different sides and keep them confused?
That's what they do.
Wouldn't that be accomplishing your mission?
Yeah, and they are.
The mission, so to speak. Excuse the pun.
Because it's hard to believe they brought that rover up there.
It's hard to believe that you even don't. I'm surprised you don't have a stance on this. I really am.
Well, there's times I've had, and then there's times it's like, well, maybe. Did they?
I don't know if that's the definition of a stance or not.
No, I'm saying I have, but there's times you get evidence that maybe that they didn't. Like, maybe they did get there.
But if let's just look at the evidence that they say that they did, the evidence that they've given us. Let's just look at that. If you look at 5 minutes, it's preposterous. I'm completely preposterous.
I'm getting on that to where like how they get the camera set up. And and then they're filming all of that, like
they called the president.
I know. I thought of that too. It's like,
that doesn't mean that they didn't go. That they went and they faked the presidential call. Yeah,
and it makes no sense why they didn't go now for 50 some years.
It makes no sense why they didn't go.
No. After now they stopped going.
All right, I got a question. Somebody made a comment. We got DT in the house. I believe that we landed there, planted his flag, and never thought to go back. Kind of like just for bragging rights.
Is that what? Yeah. Who said
that? Comment.
Well,
yeah.
But see, that's why. That's funny, but it's like why we haven't gone back in 53 years.
Yeah, exactly. And then
with all the technology we have now,
and then
it's like we didn't go at all.
And then Ish just chime in. At least what they said, Americans have been to the moon 6 times. That's what they said. We've been there 6 times.
What's Ish's stance on the moon landing?
He'll debunk you if he wants to, because he always wants. He doesn't debate. He debunks.
I'm unsure what you're actually saying, so that's why I'm confused. I need, if somebody's going to say one thing or the other.
From 69 to 72, we had 6 missions or whatever it is, which that's how long they supposedly did it.
Yeah.
I was telling him about like that. Say if we did go, but they only showed fake footage. And they didn't want to show you the real footage. That's a possibility too. Some say the Nazis got there first. Yeah. By a crashed UFO vehicle, they enhanced it and went. There's no proof of that.
What if you can't get there? What if there's no way to go?
Well, no, I mean
it's a plasma. It's plasma.
Well, we don't know that for sure. That's why we're doing the show.
I wish I knew. Like, I'm not a scientist to know if there's a firmament.
We don't know that for sure.
We don't. That's the truth. We don't know it for sure, which would cover every subject of that we speak about.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We don't know it for sure. So that's not the bottom line.
I mean, I've gone down with the David Icke. There's Rondell. The David Icke stance that that it's a moon, but the moon is a base. It's a base for alien reptilians.
I've heard that too.
It's a base that's been placed inside the firmament because it's not that far away. If we want to go into flat Earth and the firmament, it's inside the firmament or whatever, and it's a base.
That's why I can't make a full stance because there's so much other information that still is like not what the government tells you, but like my brother just said, it was it's a base. So that's a possibility too. So that's why I had a firm stance at one time. But when I get bombarded with this and that, and it's a base, or we never got there, or we did, but it was really fake footage to cover up what was really there, or the Nazis got there first, or no one's ever been there, and China says they were there, but now you have AI. It looks like you could be there, but it's totally still fake, but it looks kind of real. And there's people who really want to believe the technology is something else. We can go here and there, but we never went to Mars. And that, as far as we know, some people say we've been to Mars and we had bases up there. That's why I can't take a stance.
There's a colony.
There's a colony, yeah, but I don't know that either. And that's why I can't take a stance, because it's too much. And there's not enough to make proof of what's really going on there.
Too much, Joe. It's too much.
No, it's just too much to make a stance. Like the rover shouldn't be able to be up there. They had no room for it, but they'll tell you, no, it was on the back. They attached it, and this happened. And then when you look at comments of people that really want to believe we went there, they don't want to hear that that's fake, because their whole world will be shattered. They'll say, no, I talked to guys. No, they put that on the back, and of course they left it there because they couldn't bring it back. So and I guess that makes some sense. But then the camera moves, like someone's behind it. Like there's, like it is a movie.
It's all a stage. All the world's a stage.
And like I said, it could have been fully faked or just faked enough to they didn't want to show you the real what was going up there. Yeah. Like they might have been aliens on there, reptile type creatures, and they're like, we can't show this to the American people. We'll just show them this, and we'll make a movie, a quick movie. But is that I don't have proof that that's what happened. But there's too much other information. That's the problem nowadays. We're being bombarded with too much when it comes to conspiracy. Like,
that's the design, though.
You could be right. I believe that too. But then there's times I'm like, my mind's blank. I can't do it anymore. Yeah. I'll take a break. I was really believing we didn't go, but then they give you this, and then they're telling you that.
All right, we got another comment. DT, appreciate the shout out for the Phillies gear for showing your Eagles shirt up there. We got DT's. We went to the dark side, and they told us not to come back. That's the dark side of the moon. So I mean, that's kind of what I've always thought.
That's what I was telling him, because it was like we got there and they were like, we got kicked off, and then there was not much to show, and it's like, well, show them something.
That's why they laugh on the Pink Floyd record. You know that, right?
What about the dark side of the moon?
He giggles his ass off as he's singing it.
They know more than we do. These celebrities and musicians get the scoop on it. We're just peons. I'm
shocked at the level that you're at. That you're not committed on this.
I just told you why I'm not. There's too much bombarding.
I'm just saying. I'm shocked.
Not saying,
I'm just surprised. That's all. I'm not saying. I'm not saying you don't have a right to feel how you feel. I'm not demeaning what you're saying. I'm just surprised that you're saying.
There's times I was very adamant, but then you get bombarded, and then it's like, well, what is it then? We just keep getting lied to, and then there's times I'm like, well, maybe it was possible we got there, but if they passed the Van Allen belt with alien technology, alien technology could have made sure it kept them safe. But then when I look at it, at times it looks like there's wires. Even space now, when they're in supposed to be in the atmosphere, it looks like there's wires pulling them.
How about the bubbles?
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that too. And then there's times I'm like, yeah, they're faking it, but maybe are they faking
the bubbles?
Yeah, they faking it right now a couple times, and then there was a time they didn't, but right now they're doing it because it's too much money all the time to get to space. Yeah. So they just let's fake this little mission here because we don't have the money, and we're All
right, I got Ish kicking in again. I wouldn't assert I can prove it isn't a base, but no one has yet to attack it. Whomever claimed it first, nobody has ever attempted to occupy. Imagine the static use of having that an aerial view. And then DT says, "Damn moon gangs." And then we've got too many aliens here now. Oh, wrong aliens. I got to go to my corner now. We got too many aliens here. Wrong aliens. Legal aliens. Yeah, no. Well, I mean, I kind of agree with my brother because just the fact that I've known him for as long as I have, but the thing is that he's right that there's just so much bombarding us on purpose that sometimes you can't take a stance on things. I mean, we talk about it, and Rondell's here in the house. I'm going to have him come on the panel. He's from the TGI Now podcast, and a lot of people have been asking for him to come in on this. But it's hard because you take a stance on something, and then something else comes out, and then something else comes out, and then even stuff that's old like JFK and all those things, just let me finish. The Charlie Kirk thing. There's so many different. Like somebody came up to me earlier and was like, the Charlie Kirk thing. Like, well, some people think that he was shot from behind. Some people think he was shot from the front. Some people think that this thing blew up in his face.
Some say it's fake.
Something was fake. Something said that he went down.
There it is in a nutshell, right there.
That's in a nutshell, right there.
A month ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't have a stance on either one of those subjects.
I don't have a stance on the Charlie Kirk thing.
I can't with Kirk. There's too many things.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I said,
not now at least.
If that's mission accomplished, if what I believe is true. In other words, not taking a stance is another way of making us go away.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's questioning everything.
He's got a point though.
Yeah, but to question everything, you have to come to your own truth. And that's something we talk about on our podcast,
Sure.
TGI Now.
Understood.
You speak your truth. So
Understood.
if you wanted to give me a stance on the Charlie Kirk thing, I would tell you that we're being psyoped, and
So that's a stance.
Yeah, 100%. But I can change my stance, and then if I see
Absolutely.
something else that comes out tomorrow and goes, oh wow, look at that! It looks like the guy that was standing right next to him
Right.
detonated something and it blew his neck open.
That makes sense.
And it might have been fake because it might have been fake blood because it was all a staged event. You don't know that for sure. You can go back to the Trump assassination. That's the same thing. Yeah. Trump's here. You go back to that and be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like it hit his ear and he dropped to the ground, and then he told the Secret Service to go, wait, and then he got up and went fight.
Get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes. Like it was like
You have an image. You have an image of it on the intro of the show.
They don't want us to make a full stand anymore because they want everything to be confused.
There you go.
And I know that, but it's like after a while, my I got other things to worry about. Like I got to work.
Right.
I got to pay. I got a new place. I got to pay. For my dryer just fucking kicked out. I just got the the house.
You're at the wrong meeting. That's 2 doors down.
So
that's the anger
while.
That's anger management 101.
It's
There.
2 doors down, dude.
2 doors down.
I hate it when they do this stuff because you finally
So vibrationally, what's happening here is like, you're talking about confusion and things of that nature, which is, along the lines of lower vibration. We're looking into the fear elements and whatever. And, with me, I just try to recognize when I'm in those kinds of spaces, and which happens very often due to that stuff and a lot of other stuff. And I recognize it. It's not even about taking a stance. I really recognize the idea that I'm lowering my vibration to the point where I need to become more willing, right? More willing to just even acceptance, which is a very much 3 times higher than fear. Accepting that we're never going to know. Let's just say.
See,
right?
sometimes
Accepting that.
My
You know what I
problem
mean?
is too. I don't want to upset people that went to war after 9/11, thinking, "Oh, those brownies, those dirt camel jockeys, they're going to get it." And to this day, they still believe. I'm saying the Muslims
I know,
did
but we're
it.
not talking about that.
I know, but that's how I sometimes.
I know, but we're not. But I know, but we don't. I know what you're saying, but we're not going into 9/11 and all that.
No, that's what I'm saying about stance. About a stance.
No, I get that. I get that.
And I don't want to upset them, so I kind of remove the
No,
subject.
I know, and that's smart because you're not bringing the frequency down. You just change the subject and go to a different direction.
I mean, they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, but because we're at
That's
the point,
fine.
because we're at the point of the awakening.
At that point, you're at acceptance. though.
Exactly.
So that's,
but
so
we're
that's
at,
raising your
but
vibration.
we're at the point of awakening now, where it's very difficult to try to get people convinced of what's going on around them.
But that's not the goal.
They're gonna because people are trying to pull people down into the lower
Correct.
frequency.
That's the only thing that can happen.
Exactly.
It's only 3 things that can happen.
Exactly.
You either get pulled down or you raise up,
Yeah.
or the conversation doesn't happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's what they want, but the confusion. They don't want the conversations to happen.
No, I agree.
Why did the Soviet Union stop its space program to the moon?
What's that?
Why did the Soviet Union stop its goal to the moon?
That's a good question. Why? Yeah.
What I'm saying is that if we didn't get there,
Yeah.
if it was fake,
Yeah.
they would still go.
I got you.
So why did they stop?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question.
They never went, they said, but there's some say they did go,
But they didn't announce it.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. Unless they saw aliens too and said, no, we're not even going to talk about it. But we don't know. That's the Soviet Union, back in the 70s.
Right.
And China never went until recently.
I want to get Rondell.
Supposedly.
Yeah, come on too. All right, we're gonna do. I'm gonna bring Rondell on. Rich, you can take a little break.
What about the Jackie, please?
We'll get into that. Yeah, we'll get that. I got other people that want to come on. I want to get Rondell on. I have him come in. And then Vince, you want to come sit here? Yeah. Huh?
There you go, Rhonda.
What's that? Oh, you're coming? All right. Yeah. You want to come in? All right. All right. Got Rondell in the house. What's up, brother?
How many you got out this month, kid?
Jump shit.
You out already?
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Made
Oh,
mine,
there you
got
go.
out.
Oh, beautiful. All right.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, this will be good.
9 months is enough to make.
Yeah, man.
Talk a little bit.
Good? Yeah. You can hear yourself? Okay. Yeah, there you go. I was kind of losing you there. So what's up, man?
Not much, man.
Glad you can make it. It's
We
awesome.
can make it.
Eddie didn't show up. I know.
Eddie, you know.
He don't like crowds.
You got a lot going
Yeah,
on.
I hear you. Did so you heard us about talking about the moon landing. You want to weigh in on any of that at all?
I don't have moon landing is before my time.
Yeah.
So like I don't have I've seen like movies being made now. There's one Stanley Kubrick just released.
Yep.
Where he's saying like he was around when it was happening.
Yep.
So like he released all of that. And I don't know. It might be.
He says he did it.
He was the one behind it all.
Yeah.
So,
2001 came out right after that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's crazy.
movie directors, I mean, you gotta think about it. I think they're the biggest CIA ops there are because they get to tell the truth. Without getting in trouble.
Yep. Yeah. That's true. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Think about it. They all tell the truth. The Men in Black got told without anybody getting
Men in Black. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's crazy. We also got into Bigfoot. You missed that earlier. Then we did the Mandela effect a little bit too. You got any Mandela effects that you?
It's a lot of those.
I know. Any specific ones? I know we talked about some at the last show.
Just off of what I just said, that the Hollywood directors and like CIA. I just watched something that Ed Gein on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And Alfred
Hitchcock. Yep.
When he did the movie Psycho, he had all this information that nobody else was supposed to have.
Okay.
On this man.
Yeah.
He had all the information just to make Psycho.
Interesting.
It was a real guy, right?
Yeah. Ed Gein's a real guy.
Yeah.
He inspired the movie Psycho.
Yeah.
He inspired Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
And
Okay. All right. Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, Ed Gein.
Ed Gein. That's it.
Okay. Is that what it is? Okay. That's who that is based off of?
It's a show. It's based on a documentary.
Okay.
Docuseries.
Okay. All right. Wow. I didn't
Like,
know
yeah,
that either.
and there he like basically shows all this info he has on what happened and everything.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
where do you get all that info?
Wow. That's crazy. Bruce, you wanted to get into the Colorado River, the mystery of the Colorado River. So this is something I'm not too familiar with. I don't know if you're familiar with
Goes
it.
through the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay. Let's go. Let's get into that a little bit.
Well, the story is that that we're taught is that the Colorado River eroded and created the Grand Canyon.
Right.
I have a problem with that. The problem is that the amount of water that goes to the river now and went through it thousands of years ago could never have carved all of that. But what made me think of this was that when I was riding a bicycle years ago, when I was about 14 or 15, we lived in an area that had a lot of quarries. And I remember pedaling and seeing them someplace and thinking, wow, this looks like the Grand Canyon. And it was all carved in the 1890s by guys with steam shovels to get clay. Now, of course, it's been left there, and some of it's been watered down from rain and snow. But still, it looked like the Grand Canyon, but it was not carved by any sort of creek or river. Yet it looked just like the Grand Canyon. It was, relatively small. But the other thing that I heard about the Colorado River Basin is that supposedly, and this I have no proof of, is that there are Egyptian or other ancient artifacts in some of these places that we cannot travel there.
Right.
I mean, there's no fence, but I mean, if you go there, there's not going to be somebody waiting there with a gun. But it's very difficult to get to and very difficult to get out of.
Yeah.
But supposedly, this whole area has been carved up by water. But when you look at it, there's no way. And where did all that sediment go? There should be an island in the Baja California. There isn't. So where did this go? I think it was carved out tens of thousands of years ago by ancient humans, not ancient aliens. Ancient humans who were either going for gold, cobalt, iron.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Talc or any kind of silicon.
Yeah, it looks like a mine if you see an abandoned mine, photos of that.
Right.
And also too, if you look close, there's some photos and whatnot of it. What looks like what would be a sphinx is there, pyramidal stuff. Actually, what they said is, like melted buildings, and there's cities like that all over the world. Actually,
From what I've researched recently, and now this is triggering my my memory, is that apparently there's like a ton of gold down there that's being guarded. That there's areas in the Grand Canyon that you cannot go to because there is like all this gold there.
Yeah.
Right? Is that okay? I thought so. That confirms that. Then that makes sense. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, because I started looking into it and I was like, something's not right about this whole Grand Canyon thing.
I mean, if you look at a map from Google Earth or anything, it doesn't make sense. You have a tiny little river that in some places really should be a creek. That's how small it is. Yet this tiny creek created this. It doesn't make sense.
So guess who's in the chat? No, guess who's in the chat? Your boy Ish.
What did you?
He said
he knows Ish.
He says, "You mean the day I missed the podcast, Rondell Benton shows up? Tell them about the Mormons back in the day at the old house."
I got a conspiracy. Ish and Rondell are the same person, and you can never see them in the room together at the same time.
Isn't that funny? I know. The one time you show up, he doesn't show up.
This is crazy.
It's just crazy that we already know it.
Ish make Mormons give up their religion.
He's seen Ish give me.
Literally watched it.
He made Mormons hate their religion. Is that what you just said?
Made them question everything about. I'm talking about that kid was sitting there. He was torn apart.
Oh no, Ish has a gift, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Ish has a gift.
Oh my God.
They showed up trying to welcome us in.
Turn it up, yeah.
And he was like, "Come inside." I was like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" He was like, "Don't worry."
He invites you in. You don't have to walk in. He invites you in.
Those kids basically felt trapped. I could see it in their eyes. They're like, he's like, "I just want you to answer this."
Nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go.
Oh man, it was crazy.
He invites you in. You gotta walk in voluntarily.
Walk right into it.
Walk right into it.
That's funny.
You got to see him and Nick go at it right there. It's just amazing. The best. The best. We should try your mission. Honestly, that should be a skill by itself.
He said we do the same with Jehovah Witness walkers.
Yep, same thing with Jehovah Witness.
Oh, those are pushovers. They're pushovers.
Oh, that's funny.
Those Mormons are tough to crack. Yeah. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, them boys shook.
That's crazy. We're getting a bunch of comments in there. The moon landing verified just by looking at the trajectory and velocity of the moon dust kicked up by the moon buggies.
Hollywood does that all the time.
I was going to say. That's funny.
For a long time.
My wife. My wife will all but come out with a Bible. You got to protect your energy. That's the key.
Yep.
That's the key. All right. Let me see. We got a few more people jumping in here now. Let me see. Susan's Nancy. Who's that? Nancy? That name?
Nancy.
This girl, young girl.
Nancy's here.
Do I know her?
No, this is my friend Nancy's here.
All right. So we'll. All right. We're not going to bring her on yet. Not yet. No. She wants to do cell phones, electromagnetic here, conversation, radiation. Okay, we can
Cell
do
phones,
that.
ones we talked about.
Yeah, we could talk about that. Yeah, we could talk about that. Yeah, you want to come? Any of you guys coming on there or no? No, no, not yet. I want to do.
Nah.
I want to bring Christian on. Yeah, the three. He wants to discuss the 3i Atlas. I'm going to have him come on, Bruce, and switch with you, Bruce. I want you to stay for this. So switch with Kristen here.
Yeah.
Nice job. Good hustle.
He came all the way from Sebastian. Yeah. All right, DT. We appreciate the comments, guys. This is great. Yeah, we got a good chunk of listeners tuning in. We're gonna get into a couple more topics. We have Christian coming. He's from Sebastian. Was it Mormons in a predominantly Mexican town, Fellsmere? Okay. All right. Well, DT, we appreciate you tuning in. Share the show when you can. We got on the panel now. We got Christian, right?
Yeah.
Christian, thanks for coming all the way from Sebastian.
Thank you.
John, right?
John. Yep. This is Joe. Josette. Joe's
The owner.
one of the founders of the conspiracy podcast. Was his idea, and then Rondell's a partner on my TGI Now podcast. We both do, me, him, and Eddie do a podcast that was playing earlier today. So we're all different podcasts, just getting together and again having this conversation.
We took a stance.
So we're just having a conversation.
So you had another podcast earlier on a different subject?
No, yes, Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday night we do one on Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night we do a TGI Now. Yeah, that's on Tuesday. That's on Tuesday nights. This spawned off from those podcasts as well.
Oh, cool.
So this is a topic that's pretty popular lately. I like it. I've been looking into it. I'm kind of on the fence. We talked a little bit about it on the TGI Now podcast. The 3-eye atlas, right? Now that's supposedly a meteor or an asteroid, but what is it? What is your opinion and what is your view on this? Because I really want to know.
Okay, great. Well, you guys probably know more about it than me, but I think it's fascinating. I just want to talk about it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So it's making it's an interstellar object, and it's leaving another star somewhere.
Okay.
And it's coming here now.
Yep.
And it's making a close pass to Mars.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about Mars earlier.
Yeah. And
so what do you think? Is it now? They're saying they're trying to say that it doesn't have any intelligent life to it. Like there's nothing guiding it. Do you think that there's something guiding it?
Well, it's got a spectral trail that is changing colors, and it's usually when you have a spectral trail changing colors or changing intensity, it's because the mass of the object is changing.
Okay.
But they're not detecting any change in mass. I mean speed. Speed.
Okay. And they say it's going like 380,000 miles an hour or something of that nature. We get from LA to New York in like 5 minutes or some shit.
Oh wow!
Is that
I didn't know how fast.
That's what I've been. What do you got, Rondell? You've been looking into
They
it.
say that thing's covered in rock and metal.
So it's covered in rock and metal.
Right.
Pieces of it that shines like there's windows in it. I've been watching the thing for about a year now.
Yeah.
As soon as they said something from another galaxy just entered ours, I was like, what? And I went to looking at it. They call it the Muamua.
Oh, that's the other one.
It's the other name for it. There's
two.
Oh, there's two.
Oh, there's two.
Yeah, there's two.
One of them is covered with a bunch of other little ones underneath it.
Okay.
They don't show that part when they talk about it, but
other
places are showing is that underneath, they're not highlighting that. There are all these little dots underneath it.
Okay, interesting.
They're following. They're following with it. They're staying with
following
it.
with this thing.
Yeah,
They're saying it's a bunch of asteroids, but how they're following
or
it
ships
in a formation.
Underneath. Okay, not attached.
Not attached.
Huh.
No attached at all.
Fascinating.
No, that's crazy.
So we got some comments. Divine Destiny says it's not aliens for sure. She says it's not aliens is what she's saying. And then we got DT says
we'll know in 60 days.
It hit. We'll know in 60 days. Divine Destiny. We'll know for sure. To be honest with you, I've been researching it, and a lot of the people I listen to, they seem to think that it's got some kind of intelligent life in it. So
The way it's moving is the way Elon has been describing how he needs us to survive in space.
Okay.
The anti-gravity you need to survive in space, because our bodies would literally, the organs would start floating around, and you can't stay in space like this. We're not designed to stay in space like this.
Right.
We have to have something that can
maintain
gravity the way we have it.
Okay. And then
our bodies don't
So how's it maintaining gravity? Is it spinning?
It has a rotation.
Huh.
This thing has a rotation.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Wow.
That's the crazy part.
Yeah.
So DT said if it hits us, it knocks the Earth off of its axis. And we've talked about that.
I don't think it'll land. I think we'll see it.
Okay.
I don't think it'll land.
No, it's not going to get close to Earth, but Oumuamua did get close to Earth.
Okay.
So it's interesting that Earth and Mars are very close to each other in their orbits.
Yep.
So they could be the most interesting planets because they're in the habitable zone, to other stars. So the fact that the first one we ever noticed ran right by Earth, and then the second one that we noticed now, like not very recently, at the same time, is going by Earth.
Oh, okay.
So they could be connected.
Okay. All right.
Hanging
Well,
around.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense. I mean, again, it's these things where you just, you're not sure of certain things that are happening. Again, I can't take a stance on 3i Atlas right now. I mean, I can believe that there might be intelligent life on it. It's being guided, and it's being guided close to us for some sort of reason. I don't know that, but it could be.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it might not be.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Well, I don't know y'all's politics, like with Trump and stuff, but I think that maybe this interstellar object could have something to do with why the escalations are happening so fast with the protesters, and they're attacking the protesters, and they're peaceful protesters, and they're just like escalating a lot.
Yeah.
So that there might be some kind of like a hurry to make martial law.
It makes sense. Something's building up. There's no doubt about that. There's some type of
house.
So that
Trying to get us back in the house.
Yeah. There's something. Yeah. There's something that's going to happen again. That's going to shift the way we look at things like COVID. It's going to be some kind of a sort of an event. This could be part of it. That could be part of the collision course that we're headed towards right now. I mean, who knows? I mean, you feel it. I know you feel it. I feel it. Rhonda, we talk about it. We talk about just getting your head right and just knowing that, something's about to go down. And that's why we do this podcast. And that's why we gather people here to have these conversations so that we can talk about it, because we don't know what's going to happen. If it, say something does show up in our atmosphere, I mean, what the hell's that? How long they've been here for? But they've been there all this time. What the hell just happened? We don't know for sure. I mean, I believe that there's other intelligent life out there. I don't think we're the only ones in the universe. So, I mean, there's something of that nature that has to present itself at some point. I mean, there's got to be other intelligent life. I mean, I know we're not the only ones. I mean, and I believe in the creator, God, the universe, but I know that there's other intelligent life. We're just in a situation where we're on a planet that's actually like a prison planet. Like you said, it's like the inmates are getting restless, and it's like I'm tired of this super oligarchy that's being squeezed on us, and how a diamond you have to squeeze the coal to get the diamond. You put pressure to it. I think we're being pressured. That's why it's hard to take a stance. That's why they want to keep our low frequency, our vibration down, to keep us in a low static, in a fear, guilt, and shame frequency that we are afraid. That we're all like, oh, geez, what's this Atlas, and what's the Charlie Kirk, and the Trump, and the martial law? What the fuck? It's all hitting us all at one time. And I always tell people, you can't absorb it. You can only observe it. Observe the chaos, observe the confusion, because the confusion and chaos is birthing something new. Something new is birthing on this planet. We just don't know what it is. And there's going to be an event that's going to a catalyst event that's going to push us in that direction no matter what. We're going to have no other choice but to just be like, oh, shit, because the earth is shifting too. The energy on the planet's shifting. So we're going with her whether we like it or not. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
It's a living thing. It's a living being that's moving and changing and shifting itself.
Have you ever heard of the Adam and Eve Project?
No. I mean, tell me.
The Adam and Eve Project is a document the CIA unveiled maybe, I want to say like 3 years ago. This document states that the planet destroys itself every 12,000 to 15,000 years. Yeah, a catastrophic event happens, like the world floods. The next time there's supposed to be flames, so it might be that super volcano they're talking about. It might explode, just tear. If that volcano explodes, it'll black out the sky. That causes the next ice age. We won't survive.
Wow.
So that's the Adam and Eve Project. Every 12,000 years, our planet redoes it.
Wow.
A few will survive to repopulate, but it's a reset every time.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
They found evidence of it in Greece. One of the events was something that was basically nuclear almost 3,000 years ago. Whenever a nuke goes off somewhere, and there's a certain type of like sulfur stone, it turns into green glass. So they found that green glass all over the place in a place in Greece. That means something nuclear went off over there 3,000 years ago before we even created.
Wow.
So we got some more
awesome.
Some more questions in the chat. Let's see. We got DT again. They've been here. We are not that intelligent. They left our primitive ways to them. I don't know what that means. Divine Destiny says World War III. I think that's, but I think that could be a case based on the fact that some type of an event, a scare event, is on the horizon. So it could be a scare of a nuclear total annihilation, which I don't believe is going to happen. I believe we're on the positive timeline. I think the old timeline that we were on was going to take us to that point a long time ago, before Trump and before everything else.
Oh, during the 80s?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were we were going to go to world. Well, if Hillary Clinton would have won, we'd be in big trouble right now. Is what I don't know what your politic is on that. Yeah, but if Hillary Clinton would have won the election, we wouldn't be sitting here having a podcast right now talking about this stuff. That I know for a fact. But I got let's see, issues in the mix there. The greatest fib ever told in the beginning was in this beginning. There is very likely everything and anything overlaying our lower frequency. There may be other sentient life forms, but I agree with Sagan. Oh, Carl Sagan. He believes that two possibilities exist. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both are equally terrifying. he always just straddles the fence. He can't
along the line.
He can't be. He's not like my brother.
Can't take a stance.
He's not a debater. He's a debunker. He doesn't debate. So there's no that question is a debate, but it's not a debate. It's just straddling the fence. Either we're alone or we're not alone. Well, it's like you got to take a stance, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. That's too funny. But again, we're living in unprecedented times. If we want to agree on that, we are living in unprecedented times. Whether Ish is right, or you're right, or I'm right, or you're right, or right. It's not about being right. It's about being on the right timeline, the right frequency of being in love over fear. No fear. We can't live in fear. We can't live in guilt. We can't live in shame.
Yeah.
We did that during COVID.
And we got to be present, experience what we're in.
TGI Now. That's exactly what the name of our podcast.
I love that.
Take one of the stickers.
Thank you.
TGI Now. Thank God it's now, because we have to live in the present moment.
Exactly.
That's all there is. There is no future. There is no retirement. There is no I'm going to retire when I'm 70. There is no that doesn't exist. If you want to talk about the biggest hoax on the planet is that tomorrow exists, because it doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's the biggest fucking hoax there is on the planet, and that's Alan Watts 101. Have you ever heard of Alan Watts?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's great.
Alan Watts talks about that to a T. There is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow never comes.
Be in the moment.
Tomorrow never comes. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So you go to bed at night. You don't know what's going to happen. You know they're going to wake up the next morning. I don't know what's going to happen. Next thing you know, I'm not here no more.
Yeah.
Rondell's like, damn, John gone. But we don't know that. So we don't know when our time is up. Whether Charlie Kirk really died or he didn't, or whatever, his time was up. It's all a part of this whole scripted movie that we're watching, and I believe that we're about to see something massive happen on the planet. And whatever that brings on, it remains to be seen. You just got to be heart-centered and talk about these things so people don't feel uncomfortable. That they don't feel like they can talk to anybody. Because that's the hardest part, is being lonely and not be able to have. Because sometimes your spouse doesn't agree with what you agree with. Your girlfriend doesn't agree with some of the things you believe in politics or about the space, aliens, or flat Earth, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But the fact is that you have to live with yourself. You have to be the one that's be able to look in the mirror and say, I am that I am, and I'm here, and this is where I'm at. And show me what you're doing, like what you do. You do free lessons for what?
I teach sailing lessons for free once a month. It's a 3-day program. Make people single-handed sailors in one weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
thanks.
Cool.
So you're doing a free. You're doing something because, and like Alan Watts said, you do something that you love no matter what. It's you don't call it work, call it play. And so that's your outlet. That's your gift to people, is to teach them to sail.
Yeah.
Because that's what you love to do. And that's a beautiful thing. And that's
great.
And that's how we change the planet.
Yeah.
That's how we shift this place, is to do things like that, not be doing a slave job and doing all these things that we can't do. I know we have to make a living, but you can pick and choose what frequency you're going to pick up on. Even though you might have to do a matrix job, you still can do the free lessons and all those things on the other side. It's not about the money. That's the part that's going to go bye-bye, is the money part.
Right.
The control system that you're watching collapse right now. That's going down as we speak. Some people don't see it. They don't see that the system's collapsing. They have no idea. Silver's over $50 an ounce now. Gold's at an all-time high. Why do you think that is? Because the dollar's going bye-bye. And people have to realize that we're going to move into a new reality, a golden age. Something bigger and better than we've ever seen before. It just all depends on how we use that wealth and abundance when it does come to humanity. Are we going to serve others, or are we going to serve ourselves? We have to decide what we're going to do for that part of the future, which we're going to build next. Is a bigger and brighter future than we've ever seen before. And I know that in my heart. Some people might think I'm crazy, but that's for them to decide.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
It's a personal journey.
Exactly. So that's my rant. Go ahead.
What do you think about the drones and stuff? Because that could be getting ready for something too. That's kind of a ramp up. The drones.
Yeah. I mean, that's
the plasma balls.
Yeah. No, that's definitely. I mean, there's so many things we could talk about. We talk about the fake alien invasion. It might be coming. Project Blue Beam. Nick Novak, he loves to talk about that. So those are things that have been on the table, but they've also been planted in our psyche to think that maybe that's what's coming. Like, that's what we're going to have to look for. We're going to see spaceships, and we're going to go, that's fake. That's a bunch of crap, Or is it going to be real? You're going to have to know in your heart and discern what you think is real and what's not when things start to come up and start playing out down the road here.
Right.
That's what's coming. Again, it's hard to take a stance on a lot of things, and you have to just discern. The key is discernment. That's really what it comes down to. We got some. Who's that? Vero Beach sucks. Shout out to my homie at the vault if you need silver in Vero. That's too funny. Divine Destiny, a person who thinks all the time has nothing but to think about his sex thoughts, so he loses touch with reality and lives in a world of illusion, which is Alan Watts. Well, so see that makes sense. So there you go. Yeah, that's all. I'm gonna bring on CJ and Nancy. All right. So Joe, we'll bring them two on. You good with that? Christian, thank you for coming on, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you for coming down, and let's connect for your free service that you do. We can promote that. We could do a podcast about it on our People and Places podcast.
Okay,
it's a free podcast.
Love that.
We can talk about it and go from there. Joanne, I want to have you come over too. You want to come in?
Thanks, John.
With CJ, yeah. Joanne, you come over here. You can take my spot. Yeah, you can host now. We got Joanne from Binford Chronicles. She's doing a lot of great work in Vero Beach. She's part of the Indian River Connections team and IRC Media, and she's here like she's been every time. So CJ is going to come on with Nancy, so you guys can. He wants to talk about a few things, cell phone. Yeah, let's go right here. Yep, I got to get off my knees.
All right. Go squad. Go squad. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's go. It's a never-ending podcast, man. I'm excited.
Hi.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Fantastic.
This is a nice group here.
Yeah. So Nancy, tell us about what your ideas are and conspiracies are.
So one of my ideas is that every time I have a conversation with myself out loud or with someone, my cell phone picks that up. And then when I'm scrolling through my social media or going through Google, things that I talked about pop up at me, whether they're selling me something or wanting me to open some kind of article on the topic, and it creeps me out.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not a conspiracy. That's real.
That's real, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not just in my head. But I'm just like, how do they pick it up? It blows me away. I don't know. There's no privacy. I have to turn off my cell phone.
Your phone is always listening, even when you think it's off. It's listening. I've had my phone off and talked to my husband.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we were just talking about something for his mustache.
Yeah.
And my phone was literally off, and I turn it on, and all of a sudden, this ad for combing your mustaches and shampooing your mustache and conditioning your mustache comes out.
That is
Well,
you think about
crazy.
it, why they could give the phones away for free, and they would still make a profit from all the information of yours that they're selling.
Right.
A $2,000 phone is nothing compared to the money that they're making selling every single bit of your life. So it's it makes sense to me. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's no privacy anymore. Even your TV sets are listening to you. I mean, when you think about it, your TV sets have cameras on them. They're on Wi-Fi. They're picking up everything.
Voice command in the remote now.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like you're on surveillance.
I mean,
all the
something
time.
really scary happened to my children with their walkie-talkies. Could that be a conspiracy?
Oh, it could be a fact, but what is it?
Well, I heard some adult voices going through, and they were telling them to go outside and play with them. And I went outside with my kids, and this really luxurious black car drove in front of my house. And it was a beautiful blonde woman. She was wearing like a business outfit. And she looked at me like this, and she was pissed that I was outside with my kids because I think they were trying to take them from me or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure
It's
they
really
were.
creepy.
That's a possibility.
So that's
you know.
called child trafficking.
Yeah, that's real.
That's real, right?
Oh,
That is
yeah.
absolutely
Not in my head.
real.
Okay.
Hey, man, we had open borders letting all those freaks
Oh,
in.
yeah.
And we had over 300,000 kids that went missing.
Yeah, and there's still a lot missing. You know, we still haven't found a lot of them. So there's what we haven't found out about Epstein, who's done that. I mean, this stuff just goes on for years and years, and all the surveillance, all the technology. You just said they have all this information in the phone. If they can hear everybody, then why can't they track these people down? Because it's elite groups that are doing this, that have the power to buy this information and buy this access to our lives, and then they don't get in trouble for it. It's crazy. It's real though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Edward Snowden went to. That's what Edward Snowden was talking about. I think what happened to him ended up happening to him is he worked for the NSA, and then he found a video of him and his wife having sex, and that's what did it for him. He's like, okay, this is enough. I'm telling the world that they're recording everybody because this is my private life.
Yeah.
Yeah, Edward Snowden, I read one of his books, and it was really hard to get through because Edward Snowden is like a savant, and he talks about technology, and it gets boring. But his message in the book was of the surveillance era. They are watching you, they are infringing on your liberties, infringing on your privacy, and all this technology, that's where it's going. It's going to control society. Like right now, they control society. How often do you look at your phone?
All day.
They've got people addicted to their phones. I watch people walking on the street, and they're walking with their heads down. They don't even
very
know
addictive.
They don't even know what's going on.
I have to consciously put it down.
Yeah,
because it just pulls you in all the time.
You can easily get picked up on the street as a woman because you're busy looking at your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to realize that that's happening, but it's also important to realize that there's people behind this that have designed this and they're benefiting. Yeah, it's technology and there's AI, but there's somebody in control of that, and these people are going to definitely benefit at our expense. So it's actually people.
Well, the benefit is controlling society, controlling people, taking your liberties away, convincing you to give up your liberties. Like Snowden made a good point. He said, you no longer are allowed to say yes or no when you apply for a service on your phone. You have to say yes to get the service. When you go to get your phone, your service plan, you have to say yes to all of the terms. You can't say, no, let's rewrite this term for me, or I don't want to do those terms. I just want to rent the phone. You have to. When you go to the doctor's office, you fill out a little form. You have to fill it out. No longer do you get to choose for yourself anymore. And that's part of the control system. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How do we escape it? I don't know.
Yeah. How? There's no escaping it. Everything you do now, and I know James O'Keefe of O'Keefe Media Group. He does undercover camera surveillance and does stuff like that. So what he does, and every time I see him, he says, you have to act as if you're always being recorded. You're always on camera. I know people that they don't want to post online. They don't want to do anything public. They don't want people to see their opinion or whatever. But you have to act like you're always being recorded, because you are always being recorded, especially when you're in public. I mean, we're doing a podcast right now, but you're on cameras, you're on people's phones, and you're on all sorts of stuff. So you just have to always present that way.
Right. Just
Yeah.
even when you're walking down to Humison Park, they've got cameras everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know, and
Yep.
in some instances, the cameras help, but
Sure.
they're
Right.
really there to do surveillance, and
Yes.
they end up being used against people. So the limits of surveillance, yeah, we got to have some limits with it. I don't think we really need surveillance that much, but it's there.
Yeah.
They're putting it in everywhere. The cops use it. The sheriff's department use it. You know, they say, well, it's helped us catch a lot of people, but at the same time, under the FISA bill, it gets abused.
Right.
You know, it literally gets abused under the FISA bill, and it gets abused by all the three-letter agencies. That's what we've had a problem with. Is you get people in these agencies, and money talks. They get sold out, and money is the whole pushing behind it. You know.
Yeah.
And there's two sides to that, though. Yeah, we're being recorded too, but I've been watching somebody named Long Island Audit, and he'll go into these jails and into these public buildings and in the police centers and stuff like that. And there's a right to monitor act in our
he does the constitutional.
Yeah, so we're allowed to record
auditing.
them, and then they'll come in and they'll be like, okay, you can't record us. We're police officers. We're in our building. No. You have the right to record them no matter what, where they're at. There's corruption in a jail. So he went in a jail and he started recording them. Like, oh, you got to leave. No, this is our public building. He can record them wherever they want. And they end up trying to arrest him and stuff, but they get in trouble because that's our right to do that. He actually also came down to Melbourne, which is the whole Brevard. There's a lot going on. I know you know Chandler and his story about what's going on in Brevard. So Long Island Audit came down to Brevard, and because I guess the commissioner out there has been having an affair and using taxpayers' dollars to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So he put a big billboard with two big screens on it of that messaging, and then they kicked him out of the town hall meeting. But it was just
So Long Island Edit, have you seen it, Nancy?
I haven't. No.
It's really what this guy does is he wants to prove that the police officers and law enforcement need to be better trained to be constitutional officers.
Okay.
And how you are getting your liberties infringed on because law enforcement isn't trained properly to protect our liberties. They're more trained to say, oh, well, we're going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And America is built on a constitution with liberties in it. So whenever you're in a public place and you pay your taxes pay for that, you should be able to record and go in there and say, hey, look, I'm like touring, I'm recording, but they'll stop you from doing that, which is an infringement on your liberties. So that's what the Long Island Audit does. He goes to all these little towns to test your law enforcement to see what they know.
Oh,
fantastic. We need more of that. I mean, he's exploding. He's viral online. Everybody loves it. And then he went to that. You should see the one where he goes to the police officer that he went to his house. Just you're allowed to go to people's house and knock and ask them questions. So the police officer come out the door, yelling, his Connecticut police officer of all things, yelling and screaming, brandishing his gun, and then starts spitting in his face. And they end up arresting Long Island Audit after this police officer did all that to him. So but luckily he had it on camera, and I think it's going to go in his favor. Yeah, they fired the cop. So. But we need that.
Yeah. So he's basically teaching us there's a difference. There's also a difference between your constitutional sheriff and your city police. The city police are not an elected agency. They're actually hired and are managed under the city council. And where the constitutional officer, kind of like our Sheriff Flowers, is fighting for his budget. He needs a budget, and they're not giving him his budget, but there's some things that they're supposed to follow, and he gets to manage his budget because we elected him to do a job. So the county commission can't fire him. They can't really do anything but try to help him do a better job by increasing his budget where he needs it. And so he's been rallying, saying, look, you're cutting my budget. You're not giving me a reason why you're cutting my budget. And it took them a long time to come up with a budget. But the great thing about a constitutional sheriff versus a police is a constitutional sheriff can say, that law is unconstitutional and I refuse to enforce it.
Yeah.
Whereas the city police gets their paycheck from the city and they're going to enforce whatever the city tells them to do.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great. I heard he's suing the commissioners. That's what's going on? He's suing the commissioners now? I think that's a great idea. We need to accountability. You know, he needs to do that. That's great. Constitutional. He's also a constitutional sheriff. Remember that we made this proclamation of Indian River County to be a constitutional sanctuary county. Only 7 counties in the state of Florida are that. And we made sure that Eric Flowers was one of them. That's fantastic.
So Nancy, what do you think about the open carry?
Open carry. Does that mean that you can carry?
You can carry
weapons
on your waist.
I have mixed feelings about it, to be honest. I was never raised with weapons. My parents were anti-guns. Then I married someone that's into guns. He doesn't have them, but he was raised to have them, like to protect their family and their
and go hunting.
Yeah, go hunting and like they like grow food and everything. So that logic made sense to me. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I feel like it can be a good thing, but it can also be a not so good thing.
Right. What does it say in the Constitution?
That you can, right?
You shall.
You shall.
You shall.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it means
right.
it means it's
I
your
want
right.
Sometimes, but I don't know. I don't want to get judged for that.
So I was curious because the
Yeah.
Constitution is not about feelings. It's about your
Facts,
your liberties as a human being being
Right.
protected
Yeah.
for those choices. So you can decide how you want to
Yeah.
protect yourself.
That's fair.
So a lot
Yeah.
of people, and I appreciate you sharing that because you were talking about your feelings, but sometimes a lot of people do that and they try to infringe on the Second Amendment
That's the
because
problem.
it's all
Yeah.
about feelings and it's not about
feelings.
what your liberties
Yeah.
allow you to do. And I'm okay with the open carry. Reason number one is most people, especially in today's climate, will not open carry because if there's some wacko gunman wanting to break in, he's going to pick you out first because he knows you have a weapon to protect yourself. So most people are going to conceal carry. And as a woman, I like it because sometimes when I carry, I don't like to carry in my purse. I usually carry on my waist unless I'm wearing a skirt like I am now.
We need to talk later then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're
I
a
want to
woman,
learn what you do.
Yeah.
but sometimes when you're a woman, if you bend a little bit, it shows a
It
little
shows,
bit,
yeah.
you know?
I guess you have
So
to be-
now I feel really comfortable. I always try to conceal it, but at least I know I'm not brandishing or somebody's going to freak out over it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, we need it because we just had a political assassination of Charlie Kirk by some leftist entity, and that shows how unstable things are right now. I mean, we're on the brink of something. I mean, I pray for this country every day, but just the climate right now is so heated. Like I was saying, I posted a picture of me and Charlie, and the reactions that people they're like, okay, that violence is good. It's all right. Go assassinate Charlie because we're saving the world or something doing that. That's the way they're thinking right now. So that puts us in a real dangerous spot if half of America is thinking that.
Really scary when the
Yeah.
freest country in the nation can't have dialogue. And like,
scary.
yeah, like I don't have to agree with what somebody else says, but I'm not going to hate them so much that I want them to be eliminated, exterminated. You know what I mean?
But what if they do want you exterminated? So now,
but that's the scary
do you
thing.
still want to
is-
talk to them?
Well, you're not going to know that. You're not going to know who you're talking to.
Oh,
You
I
know
think
what I
we
Until
mean?
you
know
talk
it
to them.
Yeah. So
I
you're,
think we know it now.
and when you shut down dialogue, you don't learn. Kind of like what we're
Right.
doing here. We're talking
Yeah.
and we're sharing
Yeah.
and we're learning from each other. You know,
That's what it's about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you walk away with something. You don't have to walk away always agreeing, but at least you walk away and you think, oh, I'm going to think about what that was. Or sometimes you even walk away saying, I wonder if they're right. I'm going to go look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Because
research it.
we're human beings and we love learning, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if you don't love learning, then there's something wrong with you, but you can't
That's life.
advance.
You
You,
gotta-
you
you gotta
can't
grow.
advance in your life, and that's part of growing,
Well, when people stop talking is when it gets really bad. Because
Yeah.
now you're getting these resentments, and you're assuming you know what people think, and if the whole conversation dies, that's when the violence starts. So I think we have to be very careful.
And I
about
think
that.
one of the things that we lost in our schools, which is really important, is we used to have debate class. The high school here used to actually have a debate class, and they taught you how to debate. They taught you how to. It teaches you how to. It gives you closure, but it teaches you how to compose, but it
Yeah.
teaches you persuasive language. So if you want to win somebody over, you use your persuasive language with the give and take of facts and reason, and say, okay, this is the facts that I have, and you speak that way, and it teaches you not to be emotional in the conversation, because that's where we get lost. We get lost because we feel it, you know, instead of talking about the subject as the subject and holding on to that subject and going back and forth and having the debate. The debate class really is an important class.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that, because we've been trying to have a debate with Able Child and the Young Republicans at Vero Beach, and we've been meaning to have a debate, maybe at IRSC or something. If anybody has any ideas in the comments, let us know. But we've been thinking that'd be a great idea, just to kind of bring this younger generation out, just kind of get them involved, like you were saying. Also, we are meeting with the Young Republicans on the last Tuesday of this month at 21st Amendment Distillery. If anybody's out there, you're all welcome to come. That'll be at 6:30 on last Tuesday of the month at 21st Amendment Distillery. So yeah, come on out. It's always a good time.
Have you been there, Nancy?
I haven't.
Oh, it's a really cool place.
Yeah.
They don't have like beer or wine. That's the only thing that's.
So what do they drink?
It's hard liquor.
Moonshine?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know. And I was kind of joking the other day because the meals are really small, and I'm like, well, whenever I'm around hard liquor, I got to make sure I'm snacking, because
it helps. Yeah.
But it's got a nice, cool, mellow vibe. It's not a place I go to all the time, but I've been there a few times, and it's cool. You know, you can chill and you can have a nice. They have a cocktail. Oh, I was having fun with the menu the other day. It's like, what was it? It was like night moves, and I was like, I'm gonna have a night move. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have, and it was a great drink.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that name for a drink. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had another one. It was cherry pop, and I was like, oh
Cherry
boy,
pop.
I could really go crazy on that one.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say another thing. I thank you guys so much at the Board Report, the Indian River Connections, for all you're doing with the independent journalism. This county really needs it. We really need real news like Board Report, Spark Free Press, all these organizations. We're so grateful to have around here, because the local news is not accurate. You know, local news is not accurate. I think we all know that.
Well,
here.
we know that. That's all.
You know,
Yeah.
and we need voices like yours, Joanne.
Absolutely.
You know, Mike, John, all you guys.
And, you know, we've got Thomas
Leo.
Augustus at Substack.com.
Thomas
Oh man, he
Augustus,
writes the best stories. I just love his writing.
So we need good, accurate reporting nowadays. There's no reason why we can't. The old legacy media is done. This is the way. This is the way we do it. We have a conversation. We report what we see, man. That's all. So we're real grateful to have these organizations.
Very good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So Rondell, man, what's going on? You've been so quiet.
Yeah, we want to hear you.
You were like talking up a storm, man. Come on, flap your lips, baby.
Well said.
Just didn't know much
Right?
to say. Just listening, learning. Sometimes you got to sit back and listen.
Sit back and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rondell.
Do you think that selling your soul to the devil is a conspiracy for artists?
No, I think that's a real thing.
It's a real thing, you think?
There
I
have been
think it's a
stories
real
told
thing.
about that since 19.
That's so
since the
crazy to
1800s,
me.
actually.
It
Yeah.
seems like a hocus pocus story, but I
like-
guess it's real.
Like the conspiracy of the Hollywood people eating kids and
Is that
stuff
real?
like that.
Yeah, that's real.
I think that they get an adrenaline. You know, I've heard where they scare the kids for their blood because it
Adrenochrome.
brings out what the
Adrenochrome.
adrenochrome,
Yeah.
and they drink that.
Yeah, they do. That's really expensive stuff too in Hollywood. I
That's
think
like a
it's like $250,000
that's the craziest
shot.
conspiracy
Yeah, it's
that
really
I've heard, and I'm like, man, that's effed up.
Well,
Damn.
you know, you think about it, they're doing that, and
We
they're
are sick.
yeah,
We're a sick species.
yeah, we are. I mean, they're doing that, and the stem
There's some
cells.
people
Dark
out there,
shit out
man.
there.
Even as the stem cells to the babies now, that's a hot new thing. That's
Yeah?
$25,000 a shot too. Yeah, so
Oh well, when they were
Yeah.
cloning, remember they cloned the goat. That was pretty crazy when they cloned the
oh
goat.
yeah.
And then they tried to
Chimera.
clone the goat from the cloned goat.
Yeah. Well, no, they're
Was that
mixing.
possible?
Yeah, they're mixing hybrid animals. They're calling them
Uh-huh.
hybrid. They had the glow in the dark
I heard that.
monkey. They're mixed like a cat and like a kangaroo or something. You know, they'll do that sort of stuff, which is I don't know how ethical that really is. You're kind of crossing a couple
See,
lines
that's
there.
why I always think that there's no real aliens out there. I think there's crazy people experimenting on our DNA and bringing it together with this different things to change people. And
it's crazy.
Montego Bay.
Huh?
Montego Bay.
Montego Bay, Jamaica?
Montego
yeah,
Bay.
I was there. My
All right,
brother
so-
got married there.
No, there's a Montego Bay here in America.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's
Also-
one in New York.
Yeah,
and
listen.
that one, they find like mutated bodies of things that there's a lab next to it, and they find these creatures always like mended together, things pigs and dogs.
Oh my god.
Dogs with cats, crazy stuff. They find them
Wow.
like washed up on shore, coming from where they
Wow.
dump their waste.
yeah, just think about it. When people are like women are
Yeah.
pregnant and they're near like all this radiation and stuff, their babies come out with like deformities and stuff.
true.
So like I can believe that people are looking at that and going, "Oh, let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's try that."
Well, I gotta
You know?
go. It was nice to meet you guys and talk to y'all again. I respect everything you're doing.
Are you gonna watch me sing?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch her sing.
Okay.
Then,
Mine's
and then
coming
here, hold
back.
this one. Hold it like that.
All right, so we're
There we go. Awesome. All right, nice seeing y'all. All
Thank
right.
you, Nancy.
Thank
it was
you
such
so
a
much. It was a
pleasure.
pleasure
What a
speaking to you.
sweetheart.
Thank
so
you.
we're bringing John back on board, right?
Stick around?
I can stick around.
All right. I know you can stick around. Yeah.
Come on, Rondell. I want to
I
hear you
got Dave
clapping your
coming on.
lips.
I got smoke.
I got that for you. You want to go do that now?
Yeah.
Take my life.
I got one. Richie, I'll take my spot.
Hey, Rondell, will you grab my purse and put it on this chair for me? Thank you.
All right, there we go. I'm not used to sitting on this side.
Well, I
over
felt
there,
like we just had a lot of commercials in the last round.
right. That was good. Yep, Joan in.
good.
Yep. All right, and then we got my brother back on. We're gonna wrap it up here. This will be the last segment. Thanks for tuning in. We got any comments there, Mike? No? Just Eddie? Eddie commented. Nice. All right. Sweet. Well, thanks for coming on, big guy. How you doing? Thanks for coming again. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You got anything on your mind you wanna discuss?
Right now at the moment,
I know you were out at the rallies and stuff for the Charlie Kirk stuff, and you've been really being vocal lately. So yeah, what do you got going?
I love that.
you know what? I guess to kind of segue into it, Charlie Kirk thing, and what I'm thinking is, he lived like, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes from my house in the town over.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Wow.
And he's a hardcore Cubs fan, and so am I.
Oh, that's right. That's
so
right.
Tonight's game 4. So that's what's on my mind. I'm
Oh,
hoping,
that's too funny.
They got to win the next 2 to
Yeah.
advance.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's great.
go Cubs.
Yeah,
Charlie's
absolutely.
up there. He's going to help that out.
Right.
Hopefully he'll carry that for 2 more games.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. There's always certain things you can look forward to. You know, you gotta still keep the faith.
Yeah, you
know.
know, the world still turns, and
Yeah.
trying to speak and have conversation with good people, and
Yeah.
you know, just get people to unlock their minds and listen
That's
to
it.
truth. You know, it's what it's about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you've been stepping up. We met at the school board meetings. We talked about that, and we keep in touch on Facebook. And you've seen Joanne's show. You watched the TGI Now show as well, and you've been a great supporter of that. And that's what we have to do for each other. We have to help each other out and spread the word. And I had a couple people talking in the studio audience or hearing Filthies about just how much they appreciate the stuff that we're doing here, and and having these conversations and wanting to bring more people. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point is just to bring everybody together to have conversations. There's no I'm right, you're wrong. I mean, we've been doing this our 4th time now, and we haven't had anybody get like in these really heated arguments about anything, because it's just talking about what they think is going on in the world and all the chaos and confusion and what the possible outcome would be,
Right.
Yes, it makes it so confusing too. So you don't know what to believe, or you end up having to do your own research and spend the time on the computer just to figure out what's really going on.
Yeah,
it's
tough, and there's a lot of AI out there now. There's a lot of AI. A lot of the commercials on YouTube are AI now, so it's like you don't know what to think is real. Like, what am I looking at? Is this true? Is this what is that? Not that true? Like, we talked about the moon landing earlier, about the footage and some of the things of that nature, and Did we really go? And it's just, again, you try to take a stance on it and try to be like, I think I'm pretty positive, but then then like 2 days later, you're like, maybe that's not true.
I know, and AI is getting so much better. Like when it first was coming out, you could almost, if you stared at it long enough, you could find the imperfections.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to get so good. It's like, is that real or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the way the technology is, it's going to be flawless. I mean, it's going to be so hard.
It's wild. It really is. I mean, it's hard to decipher.
And Elon Musk got worried about it too. I remember it was before Trump was running again. He was talking about how he turned his back on some of the people that he was working on the AI because he said AI is so smart, it's outsmarting people, and it'll advance way beyond us. And he said it could be used wrongly in that way. So I think that kind of turned Elon Musk a little bit away and towards the right a little bit because he likes living in a free world. And he likes, capitalism, and he saw the danger of it.
Well, isn't he owner of Gronk?
Yeah, he has that Gronk on X. Yeah, Gronk.
So that kind of went haywire.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, what happens is, and I've used it before, it's self-aware. So the more we feed it, the more it becomes self-aware, and then you start to question the information that it spits back to you, and then it starts to get like a little haywire, like you said. And it's like it starts to glitch, like somebody a bot in the Matrix. They start to glitch, like, well, he's questioning, when I'm not supposed to tell him. Like it's almost like there's a governor on some of that AI.
Yeah, you almost have to talk to Grok because I've used Grok a couple of times just to help me lead me in a direction just so I can research that. And it remembers you, and it like starts talking to you, and you're like, okay, no, I don't want to know that. This is what I want to know. How can I do this? And then it kind of helps you in a direction. Then you go do it. But Grok is really, it's pretty smart.
Oh yeah.
But it does lead the wrong way. I've even had to say, I want to have a view of, a nonpartisan view. So this is what I want to say. Yeah. Tell me what you know about it. Just playing with it, and it'll come up with all kinds of stuff for that moment.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that too, because when you get into AI, you can't type something in like how you would for a Google search. It's like, you have to like have a conversation with it.
Yeah.
Which is creepy in itself.
It is. It's very creepy.
I usually use it for instruction manuals. Like when I'm working on some technology and I'm going, okay, how do I do this? And instead of, because I don't have the manual in front of me, I'll just say, how do I do this? And it'll help me with my instructions to get it done on the computer.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's creepy. It's definitely creepy. It's quick. It's fast. It's, it's speeding up even more, so, I mean, you have to just discern, again, like I've been saying earlier, you have to just discern what to use it for, and don't overdo it. Don't give it too much of your energy, too much of your attention.
Do you think it's going to make us stupider?
I think it's. Yeah. I think it definitely is. I think it definitely is. If you use it to, like I just said, like if you use it for the wrong reasons, like
you just let it do everything
if you
for
have a
you.
flip phone, you'll be all right.
Right? Hold it up.
See?
Yeah. You got a flip phone. You're good. You got to hold it to the camera. There you go. There you go.
The phone's not going to outsmart me.
Yeah, that's true.
I keep it at a bay.
Yeah.
It only does so much.
Yeah, but you have an iPad at the house, though. So.
Yeah, but I can't bring it. And,
you can bring it if you want.
I never bring it out.
Away from you're not even. But it is. It's a little scary, and you have to use it for certain things. Like people use it to like have conversations with, if they're having an argument with their spouse, they'll use it to give you an answer to give back to your spouse. Like they'll ask you like,
that's crazy.
Yeah,
tell her I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Wait.
That's when you're really, that's too much.
It's like, stop. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got a rebuttal.
Like if you're texting back and forth, have an argument, you can be like, well, he said this, what should I say back? And then it'd be like, oh, well, if it's based on that and based on that, you should just say this, and then you're like, oh shit, that's kind of crazy. Like that's not
crazy.
Good. But that's, if you start using it for that human interaction like that, that's really bad. I mean,
pick up your algorithms like that.
Yeah.
And just kind of know what you're going to ask for or how the conversation is going to be.
Yeah.
It's
scary. You know, you have to like keep it at bay. Like he said, like with the flip phone, keep it at bay.
Right.
You know, I have an iPhone 7 Plus, so I
was like the last guy to get his cell phone. I remember I had to go. Remember, you know, it was like the cord, you know, that you'd have to put in the cigarette thing. And I'm like pulling it out, and it's like a huge thread.
Yeah, I didn't get on the cell phone by 2004 was my first time ever using it from this point on. I went years without not having it, you know, from the late 90s, early 2000s, other than a 1111 phone for work here and there.
Right.
But it had 30, 60 minutes on it.
Yeah, right.
You know, and then work, we had the Nextel, which I missed.
Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Oh, the next
It was horrible customer service. That's what sunk their shit.
It was very effective for like 4 or 5 years,
Oh, yeah.
6 years. And then it just, as soon as the iPhones came out, that's it. You know, the Blackberries.
Right?
Blackberries. I had one of them for 10 years, and it wasn't a true Blackberry. I liked it. But once they shut off 3G,
right,
that's why I had to get I ended up getting my phone that I like, but they it was cheap too. It was $12, but this is now for the 5G. It's not just an old phone. It has, you can get Google and shit like
cool.
that.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's there. Oh, there's YouTube, but I'm not using it. The screen's as big anyway.
And I believe that all these new phones, because like my phones, they just automatically die. I think they have like an expiration date. The minute they come out with the new one, now your phone's already programmed to die, to like totally malfunction.
And every time it updates, that's what it does. It drains the battery when it does an update too. Because I did an update on mine, and mine's old, and the battery's working great. And once I did a new update, it drained the battery. It made it get worse and worse. It's like you said, it's all by design. So you get the new one, the next one. I got to get another one. The battery doesn't last too long.
And then it's the upgrade because they don't make the other one anymore.
Yeah.
You have to keep upgrading it. But that's just like what Snowden said. You don't have a choice.
You don't. No.
They're trying to take all your choices away from you.
Everything. It's horrible.
Like all that apps. I mean, you should be able to take everything off that phone.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You know, to have Google in there if you don't want it, or you know, whatever that they put in there that is.
They put it in there automatically.
Yeah.
No, it's true. No, it's very true. Yeah, no, that's. Yep. Well, we got 3 minutes. All right, we got to wrap it up. Nice. It's been a good show. We've been a really good show. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
He wants to talk about Jackie Gleason too with the.
I know we can't. We got 3 minutes. I don't think we could do it 3 minutes. Yeah, we'll just save it for next. That's all. You know, we got to just get more content, more subject matter. But no, we did a good job tonight. We covered a lot of bases. We appreciate everybody tuning in, all the questions. Thanks, Ish, and what was the other guy's name? TJ, whatever. TJ was the guy's name on the chat. Yeah, DT.
Divine Destiny.
Divine Destiny. Oh, yeah, I saw that too. She said something about Alan Watts that saved.
Person that thinks too much.
Yeah. No, she said that too. That was good. So, we're going to wrap it up. We appreciate it. So, share the show, please, and tell your friends about it. If you're local in Vero, come on down to Filthy's, second Thursday of the month, 6 to 9, and bring a topic, and we'll talk about it. If you have questions, we have answers.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bud. Thanks, bud. All right, go Cubs. Go Phillies.
It should be an area as big as that and explode. This is tremendous. There's a little adventure left down at the bottom of the world. Admiral, do you hope to see that? I do. And Admiral, would you say that
This nation was founded by men of many nations and backgrounds. It was founded on the principle that all men are created equal, and that the rights of every man are diminished, and the rights of one man are threatened.
Listen, Tranquility Base here.